it went from me saying, look, we need to look at Charlie Kirk's track record with white supremacy and far right support, to me celebrating his murder. And that was the rhetoric that then has been amplified, and there is, so they were pointing to that the absence of critical faculties. And in fact, one of my students said, we need to actually do a much better job of recruiting more New Zealanders into the university, telling them that, look, there is clearly this political economic class that don't want students to go into the universities. They want them to go into particular kinds of jobs where they're not engaging critically. And in fact, that was a lot of the rhetoric online that you see, that, oh, I'm not going to send my children to the university, rather going to send them to trade school, right? And it's again, that also is quite an irony, because if you look at the shooter, the one thing we know, and this is nothing against trade schools, but one thing we know is that the shooter dropped out of college and started attending trade school,
Yeah.
So what my student was saying is that there is a real need here in New Zealand for actually universities to have much better communication with publics about the public need for universities and critical thinking.
Yeah. The university one's interesting, because he was at the university for one semester, and I understand they weren't even on campus lectures he was doing. I believe they were off campus, and then he went to the, as you say, the technical institution, the bastion of the blue-haired, probably technical institution, learning electricity. So all these narratives that are coming out are just nice nonsense. I was thinking as well, I've been thinking through the weekend, who is the counterpart to Charlie Kirk on the left, and there's probably not one doing quite what he was doing. But Hassan Piker, who is like the world's biggest Twitch streamer, or one of the world's biggest Twitch streamer, was due to debate Charlie Kirk 3 weeks from now. So over the weekend, I saw some of Hassan's commentary the day, like as it was happening, and he was like, I was supposed to be on stage with him in 3 weeks from now. And I wonder if someone like Hassan Piker had have been assassinated, what would David Seymour have done with that information? Do you think David Seymour would have jumped up to defend this young, he may be Muslim, he may be culturally Muslim, I don't know, young, good-looking leftist? I suspect not. And if the answer to that is no, he wouldn't have, that just shows how it's politically motivated from Seymour. Because if he wouldn't do it for the opposing...
Did David Seymour put anything forward about those students that were shot? I think it's the same day as Charlie Kirk, in the university, in the state over, at a university. There were, I think, 3 or 4
by a Trump supporter. By a Trump supporter.
Yeah. Those don't get a mention.
Because that's not political capital. And that's my point, really, that this is political capital for both ACT and New Zealand First. If you think about sort of the capacity of this particular narrative around martyrship and free speech and Western civilization and attack on Western civilization, all those narratives that can then shape sort of the campaign strategies in the upcoming electoral cycle.